We are back with episode 3 of Cardinals franchise here on SGO Dugout. Welcome on back into the channel, y'all. I'm Brandon Satterwhite. So, in the last episode, we made the big trade. It was the first of probably a few trades we're going to try to make this year. We acquired Walker Jenkins, Luke Keschel, and Tanner Scoble from the Twins for Nolan Arenado and Ryan Helsley. And like I did in the last episode where I went through my prospects and upped the ratings and potential for some of them, I did go and do the same with those 3 prospects that we acquired. So Luke Keschel, 22 years old, is a 70 overall with B potential here. And then Tanner Scoble, 23-year-old, 61 overall with C potential. So don't really see him panning out into much, just mainly organizational depth at this point. But Walker Jenkins is down here, 20 years old, A potential, with 71 overall, really good contact, good power against both sides, a decent fielder, passable fielder, 66 speed is good for a young guy. Really looking forward to see him move up through the organization. We do have quite a few other outfielders here in front of him, but like Donovan can move to the infield pretty easily. In fact, I think he's actually playing second, I want to say. Second or short? No, Wynn is playing short. I think Donovan is playing infield for the Cardinals in real life this year. I could be wrong about that, but I think he is. And then Walker, we'll see how he does if he starts, actually hitting. If not, we may move on from him in the offseason, try to trade him. Newt Barr will definitely be in the future plans. Same with Burleson. He's been hitting really well so far this year, but he's more of a DH and a first base option than he is an outfielder with that 25 speed. But there is a very clear path for Walker Jenkins to make it to the bigs, possibly this season. We'll see how he does in the minors. These were his stats when he was with the Twins, and so now he's up at AA, so we'll see how he does there. And then JJ Weatherhold, our top prospect, first-round draft pick in 2024. He's been doing really well in AAA. Good chance he gets a midseason call-up to play maybe second base, possibly. Tanner Scoble, like I said, I don't see him making it up, but Luke Keschel very well could. I mean, he also has really good contact, decent fielder. We could possibly call him up. He has a center field secondary, which I don't understand with only 47 speed, but Nolan Gorman has been hitting really well this year, at least slugging very well this year, so we'll see what we can do with him. We could possibly move him to third later on this season if we need to, and then that would give Weatherholt or Keschel the ability to play second. But that's enough of that for right now. Let's go check out scouting. And I think we looked at this at the end of last episode, but I want to look at it again. So this shortstop we're looking at, really good fielder, really fast. Got some pretty decent hitting stats there. Also has second and third secondaries. And then this guy, really good contact, good vision, great fielder, great speed. So he might be pretty high up on our board as well. And then we're still looking at the central starters. Go check out the trade block, see if anything has changed. Sandy Alcantara is here. Interesting. He's very cheap, 79 overall. He's 2-6 on the year, has a ERA over 4, so definitely not the same pitcher that won the 2022 Cy Young. Chris Bubich is here. Nick Lodolo's here. I only want to see if there's any prospects down here that people are looking to move. Evan Carter is on the trade block. He might be someone that we look to. I know he was sent down to AAA in real life. Broke onto the scene in 2023, helped the Rangers make their run to the World Series, and then just last year did not play well at all. He might be someone we look to trade for, and they don't really want much in return for him. So we'll keep an eye on that. Manuel Rodriguez is also here. We've taken enough from the Twins, though, I think. Drake Baldwin is here, but we have enough catchers, I think. Let's go ahead and start moving through the month of June, and we'll need to get the random event generator pulled up here. All right, so for those of you that may be new to the series, this is our random event generator. Each week at the start of the week, I press this button, and it tells us a minor league attribute upgrade, a major league attribute upgrade, and how to play our games for the week. And then at the start of each month, which is also the start of each episode, we also get a giant major random event. This is something like trade requests, suspensions, all that stuff. So let's see what we get this time. Ooh, MLB shortstop suspended 2 games for fighting. Play the moments this week. MLB first baseman gets a +9 to plate discipline. Minor league outfielder gets a +1 to durability. So major league shortstop, that's gotta be... I believe we only have one shortstop on the major league roster. And it is Mason Wynn. Actually, it is Michael Hellman, but we're gonna say Mason Wynn got into a little scuffle out there. And he's suspended for the first 2 games of this episode. All right, and here is the memo from the league, the Office of the Commissioner, detailing the fight that happened in our last game against the Texas Rangers. Said during the top of the 6th inning of the April 8th game between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Texas Rangers at Globe Life Field, a benches clearing altercation occurred following an exchange between Cardinals shortstop Mason Wynn and Rangers second baseman Marcus Semien. The incident began when Wynn slid aggressively into second base while attempting to break up a double play. After the play, Semien confronted Wynn, leading to a heated verbal exchange. The situation escalated when Wynn shoved Semien, prompting both dugouts and bullpens to empty. Several players engaged in pushing and shoving, with a few punches thrown during the scuffle. Order was restored after approximately 4 minutes. Following a thorough review of video footage and interviews with on-field personnel, the Office of the Commissioner has issued the following discipline. Mason Wynn of St. Louis has been suspended 2 games and fined an undisclosed amount for initiating physical contact and escalating the altercation. Marcus Semien has been fined for his role in instigating the verbal exchange that led to the altercation. Oliver Marmol, the St. Louis manager, has been fined for failing to control his players, and Bruce Bochy, the Rangers manager, has issued a formal warning regarding bench clearing protocol. All suspensions are effective immediately unless appealed. Players who choose to appeal may continue to play until the appeal is resolved. MLB remains committed to maintaining the safety and sportsmanship of the game and will continue to hold players and personnel accountable for their conduct on the field. So Mason Wynn will be out the next 2 games. Meanwhile, we get MLB first baseman, which we only have one. That's Wilson Contreras. He's going to get a +9 to plate discipline. So it goes up from an 81 to a 90. And then minor league outfielder, which will be Walker Jenkins. That's who we're pouring all of our upgrades into, is going to get just a +1 to durability. So that really doesn't do a whole lot for him. And since if we play the moments, we can't make sure that Mason Wynn is in the lineup, we are going to do quick manage for these 2 games that he is suspended. And then we'll go back to playing the moments for the rest of the week. So we're going to quick manage this game against the Rangers to finish up this series. And we will make sure Mason Wynn is not in the game today. Seguis will be playing short for us, and then Brendan Donovan will lead off. We're going to lose the first game of the episode to the Rangers 6-1. Adolis Garcia had himself a 3-run homer. Kumar Rocker gets the win. And now we have ourselves a 3-game set against Kansas City. Final game of Mason Wynn's suspension. We'll have Walker lead off this game. Palante back on the mound. He was also suspended earlier this year for having sticky stuff on his hands. All right, we got absolutely killed that game. It got blown out 14-2. We give up 9 runs in the final 3 innings. Darian Blanco 3 for 6, a homer, a double, a triple. He was a single shy of getting the cycle. He had 5 RBIs on the day as well. All right, so Mason Wynn's suspension is over, so now we can go back to playing moments, and we have one already. Herrera has a 12-game hitting streak on the line. Let's keep it alive in this 0-0 game in the bottom of the 7th. So here we are with Ivan Herrera, 0 for 2 on the day, facing Seth Lugo to lead off the bottom of the 7th here. Oh, and we go after the first pitch, right back up the middle. Almost hit Lugo in the face, and there's a base hit to keep the hitting streak alive. Now later on in the game, top of the 8th, 1 out, 2 on. For Jonathan India, we have Zach Jackson on the mound. Let's see if we can keep this a scoreless game. See if we can get him to chase on the slider here outside, and we do. Strike 3 called, and 2 away here, 1 out from getting out of the jam. Got Michael Massey up now for the Royals. Swing and a miss on the circle change there, way outside. And Jackson keeps it scoreless. Right now in the top of the 10th, 1 out, still scoreless. We have Lionel Slade on the mound. I'm actually going to warm up some of our other relievers here because I don't want my closer going deep into this game. Popped up into the air by Bobby Witt. Walker going to move over and track it down. The runner stays at second despite the 92 speed. So there'll be 2 away with a runner on second here for Salvador Perez. And strike 3 called on the fastball, 99 miles an hour at the top of the zone. Freezes Salvi. And we'll go to the bottom of the 10th. Cardinals with a chance to walk it off here in extras. And we do end up walking it off. Jordan Walker hits a sacrifice fly. Slade gets the win. Sonny Gray gets player of the game. Now here, Mason Wynn has a 12-game hitting streak against the Dodgers on the line. Bottom of the 8th, 1 out. We're up by 2. Let's hop in, see if we can keep Mason Wynn, his hitting streak, alive. And first pitch, Wynn goes after it and pulls it down the left field line. That'll be a base hit. And it'll keep his hitting streak going here. Mason Wynn off to a good start here after the return from suspension earlier this week. Now, top of the 9th, 2 outs, Slade on the mound, but bases are loaded for Freddie Freeman. We just need 1 more out to get this big win over the Dodgers. On the ground, Wynn has it, throws to first, and that will do it. The Cardinals win this one 4-2 to take the series opener against the LA Dodgers. Burleson gets player of the game. Mikolas gets the win. Burleson and Walker both had homers in this one, and Roki Sasaki takes the loss. All right, start of a new week. Let's check out scouting. So this guy has dropped down quite a bit, all the way down to 130 on our draft board. Yikes. This guy's still looking pretty good at 75%. We're going to finish scouting him. I'm going to change this to a different prospect. We're going to check out any top outfielders here. There's this guy, Jose Ibarra, and then there's Ken Randolph. A couple of top outfielders there. And I think one more week and we move on from the Central. Now back to the random event generator, and we'll see what we get up here for this week. So we're going to quick manage games this week. MLB player of our choice gets a +1 to arm accuracy, and minor league right fielder gets a +8 to batting clutch. That's another one for Walker Jenkins. This guy's going to be so good by the time he gets to the bigs. The batting clutch goes up 8 from a 57 to a 65. And then MLB player of our choice gets the boost to arm accuracy. Let's see. Mason Wynn's a 69. Gorman's is an 81. Everyone here seems to have pretty good arm accuracy. I guess we'll give it to Mason Wynn. He'll go up to a 70. Now we have a full week of games here to quick manage. We're going to lose first game of the week, the final game of this series with the Dodgers. Teoscar goes 2 for 4 with a homer and 3 runs scored. Shohei gets the win. Monte has an ERA of 7.3 and a whip over 2. Ooh, it may be time to call up some guys for the starting rotation, because this is not cutting it. Inc is doing good at AAA right now. 2.67 ERA, 77 strikeouts in 67 innings. I like it. Graceffo looks all right, not great. McGreevy looking really good. 1.78 ERA. I think Tink and McGreevy get called up. And then we can demote Palante after that awful performance. Then, I mean, does anyone want Steven Matz? It's 11 mil. He's going to be a free agent after this year. I say we just send him down to AAA. We'll have to DFA him. But now we get to put Pink and McGreevy in the rotation and see how they do. And they'll get a few days to rest and, sit on the bench, get acclimated to the big leagues before we throw them in this series at Milwaukee. But we've got a 3-game set at home against Toronto to do first. We're going to quick manage here. Ace Sonny Gray on the mound, who is pitching very well, by the way. He has been great. Really boosting his trade value, thankfully. So we get this one, take the first game of the series with the Blue Jays. Sonny Gray goes 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. We did give up 3 runs in the 8th. We had to bring Slade in early to get the 4-out save, but he does. We win it 5-4. So we won that one 9-3. We take the series over the Blue Jays. Now moving on to the final game of the series. So we lose the final game of the series. Nathan Lukes, 4 for 5, a homer, 4 RBIs, and a double. But now we move on to this Cardinals-Brewers series. And this will be Tink Hence's MLB debut on the road against our division rival, going up against Brandon Woodruff. And a very good Brewers lineup. Got Yelich, Turang, Contreras, Hoskin, Chiriot, Mitchell. It's a bit of a rough lineup to be going up against for a young pitcher, so just kind of throwing him straight into the fire here. Hopefully we can help him out and get some runs on the board. Alright, so that one didn't go great. Woodruff goes 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned, 9 Ks. We lose it 7-1. And Tink did not do great. Went 3 2/3, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, only 2 strikeouts. So bit of a rough debut for him. And then McGreevy, he's played in the bigs a little bit last season, but this is his debut for this season. We'll see how he follows that up. All right, so this one went better. It was a close game. We end up losing it 5-4. Cortez gets the win, but McGreevy actually played pretty well. Pitched 4 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs. It's similar to what Hence did yesterday, but I guess the run support was just better, and then the bullpen was lights out. No hits after we took McGreevy out. Absolutely phenomenal performance by the bullpen there. Final game of the week against the Brewers. Now we have our ace, Sonny Gray, on the mound, trying to avoid this sweep. We end up losing this one 7-3. It was a close game until the 7th inning. We gave up 3 runs there. Yelich goes 1 for 4 with a 4-run homer. Gray takes the loss, his first of the season. All right, let's check out scouting, and this right fielder looks really good. Number 2 on our board. Great speed, great contact. Power isn't there, but that's okay. Switch hitter, 5'7". Super fast, really good hitter. Love to see it. The shortstop, great contact, great fielding. Switch hitter, 18 years old. He's 107 on our board. He'll probably go higher than that. Let's go ahead and move our pitching guy over to the east. Let's take a look at who else we want to look at. Take a look at this outfielder as well. See if his stats go up a little bit. All right, back to the random event generator. And this week we're player locking. MLB shortstop gets a +8 to contact, and minor league shortstop gets a +7 to arm strength. Mason Wynn and JJ Weatherholt getting those. So Wynn is going to get +8 to contact. So his contact against righties goes from a 71 to a 79. And contact against lefties goes from a 65 to a 73. And Wynn is now an 83 overall. Weatherholt is getting a +7 to arm strength. Goes up from a 66 to a 73. We'll see. He should... Yeah, he's still at a 70 overall. He's also looking pretty good at AAA. Still has an OPS over 700. How's Walker Jenkins looking down in AA? Okay, the numbers are starting to come up a little bit for him. But player locking this week, so... Oops, I accidentally simulated a game there. But who are we going to player lock with this week? I feel like we haven't done Contreras, we haven't done Nootbaar, we haven't done Donovan. Let's go with Nootbaar. He's kind of the best player all around on this team. Let's see if we can just kind of keep him going in the good season that he's had. So here are our storylines. Luis Robert shines in an extra inning win against the Rangers. Josh Rojas has a 15-game hitting streak. We have a 5-game losing streak. Around the league, we have the White Sox, Marlins, Nationals, Pirates, Cardinals, and Rockies amongst potential trade deadline sellers. We're definitely going to be selling. Jorge Soler gets his 200th career win. J-Rod got 6 RBIs in a win against the Red Sox. And Walker Jenkins is now the #1 prospect in all of baseball. He was 1 for 5 in his last game with the Springfield Cardinals with a double. JJ Weatherholt is #4 in Major League Baseball. He has a 259 average, 2 home runs down there at AAA. Tink Hence, 6 in all of Major League Baseball, the #1 starter. Of course, we've called him up to the majors. Luke Keschel's number 21 in Major League Baseball, the #3 second baseman. He's doing all right down there in AA. And then we've got some other guys down here. Nothing really just popping out at me. Sam Roberts looking pretty good down there in AA. Yeah, a lot of this not really wowing me, but we do have the #1 farm system now, so that's pretty cool to see. But let's check out this Luis Robert extra inning win against the Rangers. So he was 4 for 6, 3 runs scored, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, and 3 extra base hits. So he's hot coming into this series. Oh, and there we go. Circle change, driven into the gap. That's going to get down, and that'll be extra bases for Lars Nootbaar, as he's in there with a 2-out double. 7-3 to the White Sox. Lennon Sosa gets player of the game with that 3-run homer. Mikolas only goes 3 1/3, gives up 4 earned runs. Drew Thorpe with a phenomenal performance on the mound. That one's hit well. That's going to get down. There's going to be a guy running. Are we going to be able to throw him out? No, he's there, safe. Oh, no, they called him out. Oh, it looked like he was in there safe, but Nootbaar able to throw him out. Let's take another look at this one. Oh, perfect throw, just gets in ahead of the runner there. Oh, there we go. Perfect. That's going to get down in the gap. Extra bases. Nootbaar will have 2 as 2 runs come in to score, and it'll be a 5-3 game, and the tying run will come to the plate. 3-0 count here to Contreras, misses high, so there'll be runners on first and second, and the tying run is on base now. And they pinch ran for Nootbaar there, so I got taken out. So we end up losing it 5-4. Tink Hence goes 3 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned. Colson Montgomery gets player of the game. So a couple of rough first few starts for Tink. There we are in our last 10 games. We are 2-8. We had those 2 wins against the Blue Jays, but then we got swept in a 4-game set against the Brewers. Now at risk of being swept by the White Sox. Nobody out. Oh, there we go. Went down and got that one and lifted it, and the right fielder can't play it. He falls down. Robert has to go get it, and a runner's going to score all the way from first on that double, and it'll be a 5-4 lead for the Cardinals, their first lead of the series. All right, bottom of the 10th, 6-5, bases loaded for Luis Robert, 2 outs, ball on the ground, and it's going to get through. 1 run scores, runner coming home from second, he will score, and the White Sox walk it off to sweep the Cardinals. Luis Robert, the veteran star of this White Sox team, gets to be the hero here in extra innings. Oh, there we go. No doubt about it. Pulled that one into right field, and it is going to be gone. A home run for Lars Nootbaar here in the bottom of the first. 405 feet, 101 off the bat, number 10 on the year for Newt. As it's a 1-0 game now for the Cardinals. Following the home run back up here in the bottom of the third. Nobody on, 2 away, as we're going to get a fastball right down the middle that we hit into right field. And that's going to be off the wall, so Nootbaar will have himself a double here. 2 for 2 on the day for Lars Nootbaar. Or Martinez, actually. As that is a perfect into right field. That splits the gap, and it'll be the second double of the day for Lars Nootbaar. Oh, he got me. Oh, but he throws it away into center field. Got lucky. Got lucky there. All right, final week of the episode here. Means one more set of random events. We have moments this week. MLB infielder gets a +8 to plate vision. Minor league first baseman gets a +4 to arm strength. Gorman's vision is a 30. Wins is 78, so we're going to give this to Gorman. He'll go up from a 30 to a 38. And then minor league first baseman, that's going to be Baker. He'll get a +4 to arm strength. That goes up to a 60 now. Let's see what moments we get. We got a full week of games. Cincy, and then the Cubs, and then the Guardians. So let's see what we get this week. All right. Man on, 1 away in a 1-0 game. We'll see if we can finish this one out and get another save for Lionel Slade. Pete Crow Armstrong up to face Slade here as that one's fouled away, 0-1. Swing and a miss on the fastball there, and there's 2 away here in the 9th. That'll bring up Dansby Swanson as the last hope for the Cubs as he watches a fastball there for strike 1. And that's going to be hit into the outfield. That's going to get down. Scott has to chase it all the way to the wall, and the runner will come around from first to score, and it is a 1-1 game now with 2 outs in the 9th. Dansby Swanson with the RBI double, number 18 on the year for him. We're going to leave Slade in to try and close this out. Now we'll have to face Seiya Suzuki after we walk Kyle Tucker, and that's going to be hit into right field. Victor Scott underneath it, puts it away. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Redbirds will have a chance to walk it off here. Ryan Fernandez on the mound now for St. Louis. And first pitch, Bush goes after it and puts it into the gap. That'll be enough to score the runner from second. And Bush will have himself a double. On the ground, Gorman fields it, throws to first, 2 away as the runner moves to third. On the ground, Gorman can't get there, and another run will come in to score. And it's now 3-1 Cubs. Swing and a miss. That'll retire the side, but now the Cardinals face a 2-run deficit in the bottom of the 10th. And we end up losing that one 3-1 after the bullpen blows up late. Michael Bush gets player of the game. Luke Little gets the win for Chicago. So 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Zach Jackson on the mound, trying to get us to the bottom of the 9th here and keep it a tie game. 2 guys on. John Birdie, who's 0 for 4, is at the plate. On the ground, and that's going to get through. And a run's going to come in to score as Birdie has given the Cubs a 3-2 lead in the top of the 9th. Swing and a miss on the circle change. That'll send us to the bottom of the 9th, but the Cubs lead it by 1. We'll see if the Redbirds can come back. Porter Hodge on the mound here for Chicago. Nolan Gorman, the power-hitting second baseman, is up first, and so he pulls one foul. And there's a base hit back up the middle by Gorman. So the Cardinals will have a man on first with nobody out. Oh, and Walker pulls one into right field, but the right fielder pulls it down. I thought he wasn't going to get there. Misread it, and it's a double play. Lose it 3-2. Jackson takes the loss. Suzuki's player of the game. Porter Hodge gets his 33rd save on the year for Chicago. All right, 2-run lead here in the bottom of the 9th. 1 out. We're going to see if we can get the save here, secure a win against Cleveland. Brian Rocchio up with 1 out. Runners on the corners for the Guardians here. Ryan Fernandez trying to shut down Cleveland. And that's hit, and that's going to get past Wynn. And a run will score, so it's now a 1-run lead for St. Louis. Cody Huff now up for the Guardians, trying to get that tying run home from second, and he's going to pop one up in the infield. Infield fly rule in play as Gorman puts it away. 2 away in the bottom of the 9th. I'll bring up Stephen Kwan, one of the best contact hitters in the game. He watches a slider called a strike there. Popped up into shallow left field. Will it stay fair? No, it is just foul. 1-2 count here on Kwan. The delivery popped up into foul territory behind third. Sagis puts it away, and the Redbirds win a game finally. That is the end of the month. Let's check out how the scouting was going. This right fielder's dropped a bit, down to 15 on our board. And then this first baseman's kind of where we thought he would be, right around the low 20s. We'll fix that all up in the next episode. Next episode has a lot going on. So we have the draft, we have the All-Star game, we have signing our draft picks, and then we have the trade deadline, where we're going to have to make some decisions about guys like Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras, Eric Fetty, and what their future looks like on this team, as we are well out of playoff contention, 22 games back of the Cubs, as we have just passed the midway point of the season. How far are we back in the wild card? We are 16 back there, so we are definitely going to be sellers at the trade deadline this year. That's going to do it for this episode, y'all. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave it a like and comment on the videos. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we are on the road to 300 subs. Thank y'all again so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.